Alright guys, my grandson is taking a bath right now, so I have a moment to breathe. As you can hear, the cicadas are going off like they always do around here in Texas. But I thought I'd give you a little quick update around the house. It's going to be short and sweet because the truth is it's getting that time of year where it's hot. And I'm pretty much done with my tomatoes. So what you see, I'm going to harvest and I'm chopping them down. But let me show y'all what's going on around here. Alright, so this volunteer that I have not touched one time, looks like it's got cooties because it's getting hot. And this sunflower got some little side shoots, but the big dog, my wife cut down because she wants the seeds. These potatoes, I'm guessing maybe 10 days away from showing you guys. I want them all to die all the way, and then I'm going to dig in there. These are the russets, and they can go 120 days for sure. So here are some more volunteer tomatoes in this resting bed. Have not seen a single tomato on this bush, but boy, it sure is vining out. But like I said, I'm allowing this garden to rest. So there's another one just coming up on its own. Here's another one coming up on its own. There's another one inside of the green bean pot that aren't doing much of anything. I chopped the onions down because they're getting on my nerves. The green beans are chewed up, ain't much there. All right, one thing worth talking about. My Israeli melon. I don't know if I'm gonna get any more. I've got flowers. And that dadgum vine runs all the way up to there. It's hard to see it, but that's all coming from here. And it looks like it could use some water, but I may accidentally get one ready here pretty quick. It's starting to get a little color to it. Vine is also running along this fence line, crawling up a little bit. You can see the end of it there. So, much like this sunflower, everything's pretty burnt out. The morning glory is taking over the earth right here. It's swallowing up tomatoes, green beans, who knows what all's going under there. Have not messed with it because this bed is resting. Okay, that's the kind of shape that my banana trees and cannas and stuff are in at this moment. Peach trees. Now we're gonna go way over there to the peppers. So guys, we're over here close to the pepper bed, but I thought I'd show you. Behind me, you can see the sunflower. It's headless. I know it is not Halloween, but my wife's got a Legend of Sleepy Hollow thing going. She's cutting off all the heads of these sunflowers. She baked some last night in the oven, and they were really good, and salted them and roasted them. So let's take a look in here at these peppers. Okay, good old middle of June in Texas. So these are some Carmen peppers. They're doing okay. Coming along a little bit. Haven't seen really crap out of this lunchbox. It's not dead. Hasn't came back to life yet. I'm guessing maybe by the fall, all this stuff that is so dadgum shocked and had such a hard time getting overwintered this round will do better. Okay. Over here. This is a giant jalapeno. I harvested 4 of them off of there. I see there are several on there, little ones, that are at this point in time, looks like they're getting ready to come on. So I'll have some more shortly. That is some very old lettuce. That is some very pitiful corn. Terrible placement. That is an ugly chihuahua named Squirt. What do you think about it, Squirt? Does that aggravate you when I say things like that? All right, so here's my regular jalapeno. It's alive. Look down here, we got some kind of, let me see if I can get up close without. See, there's some stuff happening. But it's just pitiful. This year, I mean, they really got shocked. Okay, so the one sweet heat that died, this one came back. Oh, I said sweet heat. This is something else. I don't even know what I've got. I'm wondering if this is the Sugar Rush Peach Pepper. I bet that's what it is. I was wondering what that is. We're gonna find out. So that's new to me. I'm gonna taste that later. Not doing it in front of y'all in case I cry like a little girl. And I probably will, because stuff that's orange and beautiful like that usually makes all the hair fall out from under my arms and off of my chest and makes me less of a man. And I don't want to do that in front of you guys. Okay, got some banana peppers. They're doing okay. I've robbed quite a bit. Alright, I don't know exactly what the heck this is. I can't remember. Looks like another banana pepper, but we'll have to see and let this stuff get along a little further. I haven't harvested much off of any of them. I've harvested a little bit, but mostly jalapenos and serranos. They seem to be doing okay. Some of these, all this stuff's been overwintered and it is really dragging its butt. Usually it gives me the head start, but this year, not so much. And right now we're going into meltdown over here. I got a bell pepper going there. Boy, the ones at the Secret Garden are doing really good. I don't know about how it is in you guys' climates, but it hits June and it is miserable here. And you go to July and August, it's like, holy Lord, like a meltdown supernova's happening. So this year I'm not going to fight it with these tomatoes especially. Last year I worked like a dog just trying to keep stuff alive. I'm not. I did a great job this year. I'm proud of myself because I got an early start and I've got a bunch of tomatoes. I've canned like 20 jars. I have probably that much more in the freezer, frozen, and they're still making. Not great, but they're making. So the way I feel about it is I'm gonna chop them down to the ground, except for a couple of plants that seem to be doing the best. And I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna put a little bit of cover crops, maybe some black-eyed peas or cow peas, whatever you call them. Some of that and some crimson clover, and keep my ground decent until probably about September. And then I'll start putting some stuff back in. And you'll see when I do my secret garden update that I already am planting for the fall garden. So let's go look over there by the greenhouse, see what we find. Okay, so as I'm walking up to the greenhouse, I see this little gift. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm not gonna fight it like I did last year. Y'all, maybe I'm lazy, I'm sorry. But I'm not gonna sit here and tie this stuff up in 100-degree weather. I don't wanna do it, man. I'm a busy person. I have enough to do with keeping my lawn and stuff. I believe in being serious about preserving food and taking this stuff serious, but this is a lot of work, okay? And I don't have time to devote to tying up 10,000 little limbs and pruning every 15, 20 minutes. So, most likely that whole entire limb's gonna get cut off right there. And I don't care. This will continue to produce and grow up here, okay? So let's go on through the fence in the mighty jungle here and let's check stuff out. All right. So, the Egyptian spinach has come along. It's healthy, looks good. I'll tell you, at the Secret Garden, it's much more yellow, but it's much further along and it's starting to flower. It won't be long, I'll have some pods. Here's this volunteer, who knows what the heck it is. And I've quit fighting with the pomegranate. I think I'm just gonna wait till fall, or excuse me, until winter. And I'm gonna dig this guy up and it's gonna get relocated somewhere that is a better place where I don't have to fight with electricity directly above. I mean, I've just got all this old electricity everywhere right here and I hate it. So, let's go in the greenhouse. All right, these are all volunteers right in here. My grandson and I just walked around the yard and dug them out of the yard to see what happens with them. So, I see I've got a lot of flowers. I have no idea what I have here. You know, it could be some some sun gold seeds that made. And then what does that make? Because from what I understand, since it's a hybrid, it's not true to its nature. So I'm curious to see what comes on these things. I know there's probably some of those, what were they called? It's like a black cherry. Dad burn it, I can't remember the name. Like a black cherry kind of cherry tomato. Has black shoulders, but when it's fully ripe, it goes red like other stuff. But as it's ripening, it's got black on top. It's kind of like an indigo kind of thing. You can see the carrots, they've seeded, and I'm waiting for it to die all the way so I could steal all those seeds. Since Amazon stuck it to me, and now they're giving me my money back on some carrot seeds because they couldn't make it happen. All right, my dill is flowering. Let's see if we get another view. Isn't that pretty? So the dill's flowering, and I'm letting it flower because I'm going to save all that seed. I'm going to plant it again. All right. I've got some Jolene tomatoes piling up over there in the corner. A little bit more right here. Now, I'd like to say something. If you maybe sell produce at a farmer's market and you want things to look beautiful and perfect size and everything, then maybe the Jolene tomato is for you because the plant does just fine. It's not taking a hit from the heat the same as the good stuff to me. But the dang thing is just tasteless. It's like buying a store-bought tomato and eating it to me. So I am never growing it again. I have a friend named Jolene and I really like her. And I told her I'm growing a new bunch of tomatoes called Jolene. And I even got one started for her and I was so happy. And they look beautiful. They look like a celebrity or something like that. You know, they're about that size. Perfect. They're all about the same size. They look wonderful. They are tasteless pieces of junk. Do not waste your money on the Jolene. I'm just saying. So, moving on. So this Jolene is breaking over there. Who cares? Not me. All right. But this citrus from last year is doing very well. I need to take a minute now and get some fertilizer. All I have is like fertilizer stakes for fruit trees. But I'm gonna take a minute, and what I like to do is wrap it up or put it in like a Ziploc bag or something, okay? And take a mallet and bust all that stuff loose till it's fine. And then take it and sprinkle it into that dirt and spread it around and get some fertilizer in here. Just a little bit of something. I believe it would appreciate it. Look at that one. Both of these are orange trees. Who knows? It's a store-bought orange that my mother-in-law threw seeds in the ground. And she gave me these plants when they were approximately 1 inch tall. Okay? And now, look, this is the second year. You know what? The truth is it's almost a year old is actually what I'm saying. Okay? It's fixing to go into second year. It's 1 year old right now. All right? You can go back and look at my videos if you think I'm lying. Okay? But both of them have done excellent, and I'm really tickled about it. Okay? I've almost robbed all the onions. You can see, like I have some, there's one back there that's went to seed and fell over. And I haven't even harvested it. These Aunt Ruby's German Green. I think I'm done growing that for right now as well. Look at these things, you know what I mean? It's neglect. I have not taken care of my greenhouse or anything else like I should. Everything kind of piling up, falling all to pieces. But you know what? I don't want to tie it up anymore. But there's one. And they're a pretty tomato and they have good flavor. They're still green even when they're done. You know, let me see, back up here a little bit. You know, look at this. This thing will be all the way to the top if I tied it up. But you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just tired. I'm really tired. I kind of overextended myself. But the truth is, I've done a good job this year of stocking my pantry and getting what I needed for my family. And there's enough little junk left over. Couple of plants here and there that all I have to do is keep a couple of them, and if they'll make through the summertime, I'll have fresh tomatoes until the fall. I've got new stuff, like I say, started at the Secret Garden, and so when I get out there, everything's gonna be good. I've got a bunch of stuff out there that is starting from seed right now underneath my table with the grow lights. You can see we've had plenty of strawberries, but you can see they're all spreading out now. See, it's time to start putting these guys in their own pots and make some new plants. That's what I'm thinking. And you know what? I'm thinking about even maybe making my money back on them strawberries. I've had them growing 2 years now, and they're doing well, and they've put out a lot of strawberries for us this year. They're healthy. I'm gonna put them in some little pots and put them underneath the grow light, take some pictures, and maybe put it out on Facebook, see if anybody wants some of them. Sell them for $2 or $3 a piece. Why not, man? I worked like a dang dog here trying to get this stuff all going. I'm gonna make a little something out of it back. And then I'll have a little money towards the new furniture I'm getting. Because after 20 years, I am giving up my lazy boy, and my wife and I are going to buy our first set of brand new furniture we've ever had in our entire life. I'm 46 years old, and she's 29. She's 29, okay? So, in our whole life, we've never had new furniture. It's a terrible time to do it with good old Joe taking such good care of us right now in this recession and all that good stuff. But, you know, I'm gonna start making some money back, is what I'm trying to say. Let's move on. All right, so we got the old fig tree and a little spider hanging out there. As far as figs, I've made my mind up. There's a tomato plant, who knows what it is, volunteers all hiding back there. I've made my mind up though on the fig. I did everything right. It's too young, that's why I'm not getting fruit. I'm giving it enough water, I've trimmed it up, I've paid attention to all the rules, and it's just not happening right now. Okay, so no figs again this year, but I'm learning. Now, this is my China Jade cucumber. And you can see this is a very healthy plant. Okay, let me give you some perspective here. Okay, let me see if I can get back far enough to show you. All right, so, I mean, that thing is a cucumber. Here locally, when the girls ask me about it, I call it the lady pleaser. And I'll let you figure out what that's all about. But it is a very good producer. And all the ladies do love it. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't care what it makes me look like. I like them too. My wife made a salad with those guys. Wow, they were very yummy. I was sitting there grunting and groaning like old Tim the Toolman Taylor back in the day. You heard him making those caveman grunts and stuff. These guys, I find them prolific. And you know what today I noticed? I was at the Secret Garden, and I have a bunch of these growing out there along a fence. And they're just starting to get up high enough where I needed to get some higher fence. I mean, I had it like a 4-foot fence, and it wasn't really gonna cut the mustard. And so I had 2 or 3 of them this big on the ground. Some of them were curly. They do best when they're hanging like this, okay? But I had a couple of them there. And so I got down there and I really trimmed up the bushes and pruned, and I tidied them up, and I started feeding them and weaving them through a cattle panel. And while I was doing that, I accidentally, just the wind blew right. Seeing that these here aren't smelling the same, but I'm telling you, it was so fragrant today. It was like 10 to 11 o'clock when I was doing it. It was so strong and fragrant. The flowers on the China Jade. And I was thinking, wow, man, no wonder the bees come, because it was just smothered in bees everywhere. And I stole all their hideouts today. But, I mean, I have not found one person in my whole circle who does not like these. Everybody likes how big they are. I mean, you take these into the house to eat at night, man, you're lucky you get half. Yeah, unless you got a family of like 20. I'm telling you, you might as well get a Ziploc bag ready and just chop that dude in half, because that is a lot of cucumber. You talk about making some good pickles and cucumber salad, things like that. That one guy right there, that's probably 3, 4 regular size little cucumbers, like a market more. This is at least 4 of those in one. And they're pumping out twice as fast. They're much, what's the right word here? They are not as stout of a cucumber taste. They're a little bit easier on you. And there's never any bitter so far. So let me keep going. So one last look at them before we walk away, because they are big and impressive. And you can see that's just a little cattle panel trellis right there, and it's going on. Now on this side of it though is a bunch of cantaloupe. And I was looking down here low, and look what I see. I don't know if you'll ever be able to see what I see, but I'm trying to show you this guy. There we go. I've got a couple of them, see? So I'm feeling pretty good that we're gonna have a little bit of cantaloupe, okay? Spreading out. Now it's gonna be smothered in these dadgum cucumbers up here, but between the two of them, I'm gonna do good here. All right, so back in here, my pink Berkeley tie-dye. Now, after growing these for a couple of years, I have found this is also becoming a favorite around here locally. People around here just grow like Celebrity, Big Beef, some Early Girl, but they hadn't heard of some of these weirder or these different kinds, okay? But I'm making this stuff popular here because a lot of people hadn't heard of it. When they taste it, they're like, wow, it's nice to finally taste a tomato after all this time. You know, we live in these little small towns. We don't have a fresh produce market. Those are Sun Golds. You can see they're doing just fine up in there. Back in there, let's see, get a little closer here. See the yellow pear doing good back there too. But we don't have access to anything except for what our one single grocery store in this town makes available to us. And so pretty much everything that we're eating here is tasteless. It's like some Bill Gates food or something, man. It sucks. So I am tickled. Look at all those dadgum blossoms. Who knows what all this stuff is, man? This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Oh, dad burn. Say, look at that. Look at all them little blossoms all there. This stuff, I'm not watering any of this stuff. It's just growing natural. You can see the asparagus is good. Green beans coming along. You know, it's nice to taste a good tomato, and the people around here surely appreciate it. So I'm trying to turn them on to some new varieties that I'm learning as I go. You can see a lot of these things are topped and halved, and that's what's going to happen here. See, I'm not even playing around. I'm not messing with it this year. It's just more mess to clean up. Now, this is kind of amazing to me. This is the first year I've ever grown this, okay? This plant right here that you see that goes all the way down to the other end, okay? This was a package of seeds given to me called Calabacitas Mexicanas, Mexican squash, okay? So I planted this stuff, and holy cow, I cut out 2 plants, and I believe I have 2 plants left here, okay? But those 2 plants have vines that come all the way to here. It wants to get back over in here. I've pulled it out more than once. It's overrun its boundaries here. It goes all the way down there. It's growing up into the fig tree. Let's keep walking with it. I want to show you how massive 2 vines have gotten on this thing, okay? All right, see it growing up into the fig tree. It's covering where once cilantro was, okay? Now the basil has come on out. All right, it's still going though, y'all. Look, it comes over here. It's trying to smother my Sunizo bush. Okay, look how it's growing out here. Just spreading out like crazy, right? It comes on down, it keeps going. Look, it's growing up into this fig tree, right? The dadgum thing is still coming all the way to here. So, I mean, that's pretty dadgum crazy. Top all that off. That dadgum bush, I don't see one single squash. And I can't find anything about it on YouTube. The person who gave it to me got it from a Mexican person. Who knows if they're legal or not. You know, we're here in Texas and everybody's just flowing in. But apparently the squash is good, but I have not seen a single squash. And I've walked up and down this thing and looked through there, nothing. Lots of flowers, not one single squash. So, that dude better show me something pretty quick. I'm gonna take it out just so everything else can breathe and come back to life. But, you talk about something cool to grow on a trellis, or if you just kind of wanted to hide in vines, man, Calabacita Mexicana, the Mexican squash, man. That dude, if I had a couple of cattle panels and made a nice little trellis, little arch, wow. You'd never see me in there. I could hide in that thing. That stuff is thick. Anyway, let's move on. So across from the Mexican squash, we got the peach tree, right? Got a random sunflower out here in the middle. Got a tomato plant somewhere. Right there it is. It's another one of those guys that just showed up on its own. Who knows what it is? I have no idea, okay? It's in there. And we're going like jungle style this year, y'all. I got watermelon plant. It's gonna plumb up the side of my greenhouse. Spreading out really good. And I'm gonna have to look it up and remember what kind of watermelon this one is. This is a big watermelon. It's not a little one. It's big like you used to buy at the store when we was little. Okay? But this dude's spreading out really good. Comfrey's came back again, even though I've chopped it down 50 times. I either have a Carmen or a lunchbox pepper there, one or two of them. It's fixing to get smothered by the vines. Now, let's come back over here. That Comfrey's doing well. There's some more, either Carmen or lunchbox peppers. Now we're gonna go over there. So how about that? Boy, doesn't that look nice? Here's what's happened. About 3, maybe 4 times now we've came out here. And even though these things are in a cage and they're stuck in the ground, the wind has got strong enough, it has blown the cages over, okay? So I've been growing this stuff vertically and I've gotten a lot of zucchini, okay? Even right now. You can see, there's one in there. Not quite ready, but getting close. And it looks healthy. Even the vines don't look terrible, but the leaves, it keeps falling over and getting its butt kicked by the wind. So my wife came out here today before I could get to it and tied our little fences here around our little cages to that fence. So maybe, just maybe, that'll make a difference. But that's why these look like that. You know, here's another one. It just about nuked all the leaves off here. Will it recover? I do not know. So far, it's made it through it 3 times prior. So we'll see. Okay, I got a little yellow squash down here. My grandson robbed it off of there earlier. For some reason, this one's staying kind of dwarf. And this guy has been growing like a maniac. See how them guys go? They want to go vertical. Look at all those blossoms and flowers in there. That burn. But, you know, I'm going to have to invest in some good cage material and come up 6 or 8 foot, you know, for sure. Because this stuff will do it, no problem, including this. It's got so top heavy, I guess the wind just blows it. For some reason, the north is that way, and it seems like the wind comes from the north to the south and knocks it down. So, that's just the story of my life. And now, we're going over there. All right, guys, so my wife and I were watching Lazy Dog Farms with Travis, and he had a pretty good deal on some turkey figs. She wanted a turkey fig. We got them around here, but for whatever reason, she gave him a little business and we bought one and we stuck it in the ground there. So there's a new fig, and that's its new home. I will say this, it arrived in very good shape and the price was definitely right. So thanks, Travis from Lazy Dog Farms, for all your hard work. All right, there's the Sun Gold over there in the corner. Paste tomatoes. Here's what I've learned about paste tomatoes, okay? I've got some. This year, they actually made a little something, okay? I don't know if you can tell just how small that is, but I have shorty, stubby fingers, okay? My hand's big and broad, but my fingers are stubby. I'm gonna guess that thing's maybe 2.25, 2.5 inches long. Same here. Okay, you see them? I believe I had a couple more over here. Maybe not. See, oh, that's where it is over here. Okay, 1 or 2. But I've put so much time and effort into these things, and they just ain't making. So I give up on paste tomatoes, okay? Now, obviously, this is not the best spot. You see Asen's pitiful corn. It's doing its thing. We're just almost ready to clear all this out and plant cover crops, okay? But we're letting it go as long as we can. You can see I've topped all this. Got tired of finding every single plant out here that you see. Every single one. It was a wall all the way to the shade cloth up here, okay? All the way to here. So those are 7-foot stakes. They're probably about a foot in the ground. So it's a good 6.5 feet for most of them. Okay, that's how big the plants were. And I've had enough. I'm just not gonna fight with it. I got these guys ready. And there's my little harvester. He's been harvesting those guys that are red and ready. You want to get those ones that are ready for me?
Yeah.
All right, but we're tired of fighting with it, okay? So this is where we're at.
It's easy peasy.
Picking those guys is easy peasy, he
Can
says.
we pick them in here?
You sure can. So Asen and I are gonna harvest this little tiny bit that's ready around here. We're gonna call it a good evening. And who knows what it'll look like next time y'all come back, because it's time to clean house. It's too hot. And I'm not fighting with it this year. So we'll see what makes it through the next round, and I'll check y'all out in a couple weeks. Probably have a secret garden video in the next few days. Till next time, see y'all later.